What's up, guys? Will Mallon with First Light Fishing Co. here. I'm an angler with over a decade of fishing experience, and in this video I'm going to teach you how deep to run your bait according to where the fish are sitting. So, salmon and steelhead are a fish that resides in the bottom foot of the water column when they're in the rivers, that is. So this is the top, this is the bottom. Typically they're sitting just like that, real close to the bottom, not quite on the bottom, but pretty darn close. And salmon and steelhead, and then king salmon, cohos, Atlantics, brown trout, all of them follow the same general rule of being within the bottom foot of the water column. When you're fishing, this being said, when you're fishing, you want your bait to be in that bottom foot as well. Because if your bait's way up here, they don't want to make that unless it's in Atlantic salmon. Salmon and steelhead, they're kind of lazy when it comes to biting things. They don't want to make that big rush to the surface and waste a lot of energy to get that meal. If it's coming right towards them and all they have to do is open their mouth, they'll eat it. Why wouldn't they? So let's say you're standing upstream, float's right here, and you got your shot line coming down to your swivel, and you got your leader, and then you have your hook, and you have your bead or egg sac or whatever bait you choose. This rig right here, you're in the zone, but it can be better. As you can see, this is coming down. It's gonna go right across the top of the fish. And this is good. I'd rather have the bait a little too high, as long as it's in that bottom foot, than a little too low. Because if it's coming below them, they're not gonna see it. Their eyes are on the top of their head. So if the bait is coming a little bit too high, that's not always a bad thing. Because when it's coming to them, if they really want that, they can hop up and they can eat it because they can see it because they're always looking up. But I would run this rig a little bit deeper. This is the case most times of the year. Fall and spring, I say this is more accurate of how the fish sit anywhere than that bottom foot of the water column. But in the winter, I'm talking when the water's like in the 30s, when it's like super, super cold, these fish, I'm not even kidding, are literally touching the bottom. Like they are literally hunkered down. The water's freezing, there's ice chunks in the water. These fish are literally touching the bottom. And a lot of the steelhead that come in the rivers, they don't need to eat. There's a saying that goes like, there's like a factor, like a study. A well-nourished steelhead can come in the rivers and not eat anything for 6 months. That means it can come in the fall, stay over the winter, spawn and leave in the spring, and not eat a single piece of food ever once. Of course, most of the fish do. They come in the rivers to eat eggs. They're gonna eat, but they don't have to. That's the thing. In the winter, they don't really want to eat. They just want to hunker down and they want to wait until spring. They want to wait until that water gets a little bit warmer. But they will eat in the winter if the bait is put right in front of them. I was on the Salmon River one time, and there was this guide coming down, and he kept saying 4 fingers, 4 fingers. Like, what'd that mean? He was pretty much saying if the bait isn't within 4 fingers, like 2 or 3 inches away from that steelhead's mouth, they're not gonna eat it. So it's either gotta come right to them or super close where they barely gotta move to eat it, because they want to expel as little energy as possible during the winter months. So you got your shot line coming down, then you got your leader, and then you got your bead, and then you got your hook. if that is coming literally right to them, and this is why, you know, doing a lot of casts, changing depth, casting farther, closer in the hole is very important, especially during the winter, because if it's not right in front of them, of course you're not force feeding it, you're not running it into its mouth, it still has to make the attempt to eat. But in the winter, if you're not right to them, if you're not delivering that bait right to them, they're not going to chase it. You know, they're not going to waste all that energy to eat one little egg. So in the winter, they're hunkered down, right on the bottom. You got to run your rig real deep. You got to run your rig so deep that you're taking bottom once in a while. Fall and spring, the fish will chase bait a little more. You don't have to be tight to the bottom in the fall and spring. Just kind of be, you know, within that bottom foot. I'm not sure what that was. Be within that bottom foot of the water column, and you have a great chance of getting a bite from a Great Lakes salmon or steelhead or trout. So I hope that helps explain where the fish sit in the water column at certain times of the year. So fall and spring within that bottom foot, and then in the winter right tight to the bottom. So hope that helped. If you found value in this video, give it a like, comment any questions you have, maybe click subscribe while you're at it too. So thanks for watching, guys. See ya.